name is Miles Bristow. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at Com Creative and past president of the American Marketing Association. The second section is about delivering the right message at the right time and in the channel they prefer. So we're talking about channel preference.
Now let's talk about the right time. And figuring out what to talk about is closely related and use similar tools to what time we should talk about these things. We would start with the name, and we'd look for two other data points, maybe a state and an email address. Obviously, email is the driving factor. In some cases on the B2B side, you're going to find that people have more than one email address. What they use socially is different from what they use in the business. But by having a few other data points, and it doesn't have to be just these two, there could be others, we'll find some portion of them. We'll figure out what groups they're in, what they discuss, how frequent they are, who their friends are, how often they're active. We put that together in aggregate, and we can create a customer portfolio that says your most effective or most likely customer looks like this and has this sphere of influence and reads or participates in blogs and so forth. It breaks down this way. You have 5 buckets that they could land in. Now the undeclared are the folks we couldn't find. If your list is large enough, 100,000 or something like that, we get a huge sample size. That can really decide what the ideal customer is. Wide netters are people who join everything. 5 to 7 networks. They're all over the place. They're tweeting and blogging, and those are the folks who join everything and have lots of friends everywhere. Selectively social are the ones who've kind of picked a few spots, and they're going to be active in just those areas, and they've got maybe 200 friends or so. The social placeholders are the ones who join stuff, and then they, I just don't have time to tweet, or I don't have, I'm not, whatever. So they just kind of have a profile. And then there's the folks who are getting started with just a few friends, but they're active. So we're looking for that. It basically lays out like this. We have a 30% in this data model that we couldn't even find them. But we did find some other folks. And in the B2B space, 36% just getting started. These are existing customers of this company. The selectively social and the wide netters were the folks we started with. So you have, I'm not good at math, but that looks like about 27%. Then we look at the portrait of where they're active, everything from Stumble to Facebook, and we say, okay, where are the top areas or top networks where we could do some things? And of that group that was active, we saw that about 71% were active on the sites where we can participate. And so the channel they prefer is related to what we already see, the profile or the perfect customer who's already paying, where they're active. This is how we figure out opportunity, and it's under 3 elements: your relevance factor, mind share rating, which has to do with your brand and how aware folks are of you or your product, or of the industry in general. And we're in an age of a lot of innovation, so there's mobile, you can pay for your coffee with your mobile phone, like wow, that's a whole new industry, new economy. And the last is channel saturation. So we take those 3 things and we figure out how we're going to market. Every single channel is driving down to a segment page or a landing page. And so if I'm sending out a direct mail piece, then I want them to see a page that has something to do with what they got from me. And so now I can measure effectiveness of that channel.